Welcome back, folks, to the Membership Machine Show. This is episode 88. In this episode, we're going to be talking about one of the most powerful WordPress plugins that can help you with a membership website. It's very powerful. It will allow you to do a number of things. I've got my regular co-host with me, Haroon. He's up for it. He's eager, I can tell. Well, look eager, Haroon. There we go. You've got a smile for him. So, Haroon, would you like to quickly introduce yourself to the new listeners and viewers?
Certainly. Thank you, Jonathan, for having me here. And hi, everyone. I've been working in the tech industry for around 2.5 decades almost, and over one and a half decade in the WordPress ecosystem. And over the years, I've used pretty much every tool out there for WordPress. Not every single one, but every one that matters. And that puts me in a position to sort of have an opinion on how to go about doing things in WordPress in the most optimal manner.
Yes, and Haroon consults with WP-Tonic as well. So in this episode, we're going to be talking about WP Fusion, the plugin, what it does, and give you some ideas about its functionality and what it can do and what it can't do. Should be a great show. It's a really powerful, impressive plugin with a lot of functionality for the membership owner. But before we go into the meat and potatoes of this great show, I've got a couple of messages from our major sponsors. We will be back in a few moments, folks.
Hi there, e-commerce store owner. At Omnisend, we help more than 100,000 e-commerce customers, just like you, sell their products. We're an all-in-one email and SMS marketing platform that helps you reach your customers, grow your audience, and increase sales. In fact, our customers have seen incredible results with Omnisend, averaging $72 in revenue for every single dollar spent. And if you ever have a question, our award-winning customer support team is available 24/7 every single day. That's one of the reasons we have more than 6,000 glowing reviews and ratings all across the web. So get started with Omnisend today and start growing your business with better email and SMS marketing.
We're coming back, folks. Before we go into the show, I just also want to point out we've got some great special offers from the sponsors, plus a curated list of plugins and services, plus a course that really tells you how to build a membership website on WordPress from the beginning to the end. You can get all these goodies by going over to wp-tonic.com/deals, wp-tonic.com/deals, and you'll find everything you need to build a membership website on WordPress in 2024 on that page. He's starting to fiddle with his mic now, folks. He's getting interested, I can tell. So, Haroon, how do we introduce WP Fusion? You know, if you were trying to explain it to a client, they asked you about it, how would you explain how your own understanding of what it is and what it offers?
So WP Fusion at its core, at its primary value offering is a tool that bridges the gap between your WordPress website and your CRM and marketing automation system. So that's what it primarily is. It does quite a bit more, but this is the core crux of it. So let's say you're using something like ActiveCampaign or Infusionsoft or Drip or you name it, ConvertKit, anything like that, or even a self-hosted solution like Mautic. You want your WordPress audience. WordPress is where your landing pages are. WordPress is where your e-commerce could be. WordPress is where your advertising campaigns land people. So or your SEO or whatever it could be. And they sign up over there, but that user base, that sign up, if it stays in WordPress, there's not much you can do with it. unless you integrate a full CRM and marketing automation system into WordPress. And not everyone wants to do that. There are solutions for that, but not everyone wants to do that. Maybe people are just tied into something like ActiveCampaign, or they just prefer its workflow, or their agency that's running their marketing campaigns and all uses ActiveCampaign. Could be lots of scenarios. So, but you utilize WP Fusion to ensure that actions that happen on the website's end with the data associated with them get synchronized across over to your marketing automation and CRM platform, and vice versa. Some action gets taken in the CRM and marketing automation platform that could update the user in your WordPress user database. So it's a two-way synchronization.
And based on my experience, I don't know if you agree with this, a lot of these SaaS marketing email platforms like ActiveCampaign, Infusionsoft, Drip, there's a number of them. They do offer, a lot of them do offer a plugin themselves, but I found that a lot of the functionality which you have access to by utilizing WP Fusion, you don't always have that level of power in the solution that the SaaS supplier provides. Would you agree with that statement?
True, very true. Most of them offer you a very rudimentary opt-in system to integrate into your WordPress site, be it a direct plugin of their own, or be it through some integration with a form plugin. So someone uses that form, that opt-in to register, to provide email address, and then the email address goes in to your CRM, to your marketing automation system. That's pretty much what most offer. They don't offer the ability to send more information based on user actions on your site. For example, user purchases a WooCommerce product. You want to now tag that user as a customer in your CRM. You need to send send that sort of information based on user action. Or in e-learning, a user rolls into a course, or completes a particular chapter of a course. You want to update the status in the CRM. You don't get that sort of integration from those providers, those SaaS providers.
No. Another thing which Haroon doesn't, we had a pre-show chat, and one of the areas where we divert is the other area which WP Fusion can really help is access control, actually linking different packages. If you're using, but something like Lifter LMS or LearnDash, to some extent, not so much LearnDash, but Lifter gives you the ability to link various lessons and courses into actual packages that you can sell as subscription. But what WP Fusion gives you access to the concept of tagging, using tags and linking tags to certain roles or certain elements or certain pages of your WordPress, and only giving access to that bit of content or whatever it is if the person trying to access that content has a certain tag. And it's a very different concept than utilizing permissions, access permissions. What's your thoughts? Because I got the impression is that you use another platform, a platform called Groundhog, to do something similar, or you don't use it. So, but you can do that by utilizing WP Fusion. I am correct about this, aren't I?
Oh, absolutely. So maybe I didn't communicate it the right way earlier when we were chatting about it. So I wouldn't avoid using WP Fusion for access control. If it's a site on which I am using WP Fusion for its other features and it comes to access control, I would utilize WP Fusion for it, because why add another tool?
I'm sorry to interrupt, because it's not that I'm not saying for what it does for a particular case, it's fantastic value, but
Yeah.
it's not the cheapest solution either, is it?
And it's like if access control is the only feature you want from it, then you can do better with so many other alternatives that are custom tailored for that. I wouldn't use Groundhog if access control is the primary objective. But if I'm using Groundhog as a CRM and marketing automation system, then I would utilize that for access control to an extent. And if I'm using WP Fusion already in the first place, then I would utilize it for access control if it fits the bill,
Yeah.
of course.
But based on our experience, folks, we provide it as part of our stack of technology that you get with WP-Tonic as your hosting provider. We provide all these tools, and we provide WP Fusion as part of our stack. And in more complicated membership scenarios, folks, we tend to combine it with WP Fusion, not WP, I mean Fluent CRM.
Fluent CRM.
And Fluent CRM has its own tagging, but we tend to switch it off and we rely on WP Fusion's tagging engine because we find it more powerful than the actual tagging engine of Fluent CRM. But we're providing all this as part of our hosting package. So we're in a slightly different scenario than Haroon, who's dealing with people that host on all sorts of platforms and in all sorts of levels of their journey of building a successful membership website. So what's the situation based on your experience about integrating WP Fusion with the leading learning management systems? And to me, there's three clear leaders. There's LearnDash, there's Lifter LMS, and there's Tutor LMS.
Yeah,
They're the
new,
clear three
relatively new
leaders.
one. Yeah.
So what's your experience and how easy does WP Fusion, if you're utilizing a SaaS marketing email platform like ActiveCampaign or ConvertKit or let's say OnBeSend or Bravo, if you're using, which was Send Blue, wasn't it? And then they renamed it.
To Bravo, yes.
How, based on what you've known, how does it integrate? Because the reason I'm bringing it up is that learning management systems, they have to send out a number of transactional emails. Somebody finishes a course. So does it help with the management? And basically, what's your experience, basically? I'm waffling on
It helps immensely if you're using a third-party marketing automation and CRM system. So whenever someone signs up for a course, whenever someone performs any activity, like finishes a lesson, a quiz, enrolls in another course, all of that data can be synced across the CRM by adding the necessary segmentation to that particular contact in that CRM, because that's like highly valuable data. You want to know which of your students are more engaged in actually attending the courses so that you can market to them the next relevant course. And you want to see where people's activity is like falling off. So maybe if it's something that's too difficult, you want to improve it. So it gives you all of that feedback, and it can not just give feedback, not just the data itself. It can trigger automations. It can trigger sequences, trigger emails, and then not just trigger new ones. Maybe someone finishes a course, then you want to bring them out of a particular automation. So that action can trigger, removing them from a particular chain of automations and adding them to another one. So it's pretty brilliant at doing all of that. And then you can completely disable the emails that go out from WordPress when users complete a course or complete a lesson or complete a quiz or do any of those actions. You can have all of that, all of the transactional emails taken care of using
Yeah.
your CRM
I-
systems.
I totally agree with you. And what if you're using a WordPress learning management system, we've named the 3 leaders, and then you're utilizing an external marketing automation platform, it's best to switch off. You don't want to get, this is based on my experience, you don't want to get into the scenario that some of the emails being sent out by the learning management system, the thing, and some of the marketing automatizations being sent out by your.
Oh boy.
Because if you get this hybrid scenario, you're going to start losing your hair, I can assure you. And I've lost enough. Haroon, I am jealous. Haroon's got a lot of hair. And on top of his head, and he's got a hamster on him as well. And he's a hairy beast. But if you get into this hybrid scenario where some of the, it makes it really difficult to troubleshoot
Oh yes.
if there's problems, because you don't know which email's been sent out by the learning management system and which emails are being sent out by the external. And this applies also to the internal. If you're using something like Fluent CRM or Groundhog or whatever, if you're utilizing external, I also think it's best to, but then it's more, a lot of the native CRM email marketing plugins, that they have compatibility built in to handle LearnDash, Lifter LMS or Tutor. They tend, the bigger ones, the ones that we named that are native, they have inbuilt functionality.
Yes.
What would you comment about what I've just outlined, Haroon?
Yes, that brings us to like a major, I wouldn't say a point of contention between us. It's more like with your target audience, one workflow may work better with my target audience, or in my experience, another
Well, there's no.
works better. So
This is the
there's no hard
difference.
and
There's no one way of doing
Yes.
things on WordPress,
Yes.
is there?
yes,
There
so
just
yeah,
isn't.
both ways are right if you do them the right way. If you set them up properly, if you utilize them to their fullest. So in my experience and in my opinion as well, when I'm using a WordPress native CRM and marketing automation system, I just haven't come across the need to pair it with WP Fusion, no matter what other plugins are part of my stack, because generally I use like some of the best in the industry that we discussed, like the likes of LearnDash, the likes of Lifter and all, and they integrate with the 2 leading CRM platforms native to WordPress, which are Groundhog and Fluent CRM. So when there's a native integration between your marketing automation and CRM system and your learning management system, or your e-commerce system, or your you name it, what the third type, event management system, events calendar and whatnot. So when there's a native integration between the two, I haven't felt the need to bring in WP Fusion to tie those together, because they already tie together really well. But when it comes to a third-party SaaS CRM and marketing automation system, then yes, then WP Fusion is like the glue that is there to bind them together, as we discussed earlier. So yeah, and coming to your specific question, which was, can you repeat it once more?
No, because I can't, because I've forgotten it myself. But I will comment on what you say. I think for about 90% of websites that are utilising WordPress for a membership, what Haroon says, I would totally agree. where I would disagree, and if you're utilizing a SaaS marketing platform and you really want it to work, I would switch off a lot of the automatic email that the learning management plugin does, and I would use Fusion with your external to manage it. Where I differ slightly is if you're dealing with a very large membership website with a quite a large user base, i.e. it's been migrated from a SaaS platform, or you're building out a new WordPress website because you have been entrapped a bit by utilizing a membership plugin. I won't name names. You've got a membership website that's been running for a number of years, and you get sucked into a particular membership plugin and you outgrow it, and you find that it's so embedded in the running of the membership website that you're best off just building a new website on a new stack of technology and just telling the people that they can migrate to the new website. And if that's the case and you're dealing with a established large where you've got quite complicated course packages and you're doing a lot of marketing automation to a powerful level, I just think the tagging, the control of access and controlling the marketing automation, external, a SaaS-based one, or utilising even an internal marketing automation plugin, you're better off letting the logic, the brains of the site be based on tagging and based on WP Fusion. Am I explaining my position a bit better, Haroon?
Yes.
And how would you comment on what I've just outlined?
I agree that, as you said, having a single source, like the essence is having a single source of user segmentation.
Of knowledge, the brain. I call it the brain.
The brain, a single source of all the workflows where you segment users, because otherwise you're going to have some automations and some sort of tagging set up in one tool, some in the other tool, some emails are going out from one tool, some from the other tool. It's going to be a whole mess to maintain.
It becomes a Frankenstein. But the only proviso where I totally agree with Haroon, it's only worth doing all this, folks, if you're at a certain level. Because almost only 20% of websites get to that level. I'm not saying if you're below that level you can't make a really good living out of running a membership, because you can. But I'm talking about the bigger organisational level, association that might have 20,000 members or that kind of level. Based on my experience, you're better off going to utilise WP Fusion as I call it your central mind of your membership, because otherwise you have some bits controlled in one place, other bits controlled by another place, and it quickly turns into a little bit of a nightmare. Go on.
Another scenario in which even if you have a native WordPress-based CRM like Fluent or Groundhog, even then WP Fusion would come handy, is if you have a different WordPress installation, like a subdomain installation or something for your LMS, and a different main marketing site, and maybe a third different installation that contains your CRM. So you're keeping all of those on maybe even on separate servers to ensure that load on one doesn't impact the other. You're maintaining them as separate platforms. They just utilize WordPress native tools. That's the only common thing. In that case, having WP Fusion would mean the activities on your landing pages, the signups and all, would get seamlessly sent over into the CRM, and then based on the CRM, they would update different areas of the LMS site, and they would maybe control display logic in the LMS site, making certain parts visible to a certain level of user membership. So someone signs up on your main front site, and then they're tagged in the CRM accordingly, and then they're granted access to courses accordingly based on those tags. And then certain parts of the site are made visible to them accordingly based on their membership. Certain parts are hidden from them based on their membership. So all of that can be done using WP Fusion then.
Yeah, and we can. I will comment on that after the break because it's a good place for us to have our middle break. We're going to be delving even more into one of the most powerful plugins in the WordPress space, WP Fusion. This is an intro to give you some real insights about why you would look at this plugin around membership or community focused websites. But we're going for our middle break. We'll be back in a few moments, folks.
Tired of hosting providers that can't handle high traffic loads? Conversio is here to help. Our platform can handle any amount of traffic, all without slowing down or crashing. With immediate Slack support, performance optimization, and a team that thrives on resolving technical challenges, your e-commerce business is in safe hands. Learn more about Conversio at conversio.com.
This podcast episode is brought to you by Lifter LMS, the leading learning management system solution for WordPress. If you or your client are creating any kind of online course, training-based membership website, or any type of e-learning project, Lifter LMS is the most secure, stable, well-supported solution on the market. Go to lifterlms.com and save 20% at checkout with coupon code podcast20. That's podcast20. Enjoy the rest of your show.
We're coming back, folks. We've had a feast of techie conversation. Haroon's warmed up. The terms, the concepts are just flying. We've probably lost most of the audience, but we're having a good time. But before we delve even deeper into WP Fusion and why you should consider using it, I want to say that we've got a fantastic free resource for you. That's the Membership Machine Show Facebook group. It's totally free. We have a great community there of WordPress professionals, junkies, and people trying to build a membership website on WordPress in 2024. Please go there, sign up. I'm posting content every day about building membership, and we have a great community and it is growing, and we'd love you to be part of it. So go over to Facebook and look up the Membership Machine Show Facebook group and join. So to comment on what we were saying in the first half of the show, but like again, it having it on a subdomain, that normally you only really want to look at that if you're looking at some of the bigger membership websites, because when you're starting out, it's really trying to keep things simple, isn't it? Trying to keep things as simple as possible. And with either Bricks, or if you're going the Gutenberg, Cadence WP, I think they're two of the best solutions, non-Gutenberg and Gutenberg. I think it just depends where you are. Bricks has got some enormous power and attraction, but to the less professional developer, I think Cadence WP offers a lot. In the DIY build yourself market, if you're utilising that and utilising either LearnDash or Lifter or Tutor together with Fluent CRM or Groundhog, I prefer Fluent CRM. Haroon prefers Groundhog. I think using the only thing with LearnDash is they provide their own membership plugin, and there's a number of third-party membership plugins. I always want to get away from membership plugins. If I've got somebody that wants to use LearnDash, I suggest that they go and use WooCommerce. I think it's going to make them future-proof. And yes, LearnDash provides a free add-on that will work, and you do have to buy a subscription add-on. But then, and the only thing is I normally recommend, but we also provide this, if you're going down the LearnDash WooCommerce route, is that I also suggest that they get cart flows so they can produce a one-page checkout page. But we provide all that at WP-Tonic as part of our hosting bundle. But I still think it's worth, if you're going to use LearnDash, it's best to go down the WooCommerce, and so you're getting away from embedding yourself with a particular membership plugin. What's your thoughts about what I've just said?
Yeah, it does make a lot of sense to, but you have to take a look at the overall picture of what they're building. If it's just going to be like primarily through and through a LearnDash site, it's not a site with lots and lots of plugins required to do A or B or C. If the primary objective is to sell courses using LearnDash, and be it direct course sales or be it course sales through membership plans, then LearnDash with their MemberDash add-on. And also, yes, you also have to consider your payment gateway options, because WooCommerce gives you pretty much an infinite number of global payment gateway options, because every single payment gateway wants to integrate with WooCommerce first and foremost. And with a lot of other tools, with a lot of other membership plugins, you'll be limited to PayPal and Stripe primarily. So you have to consider this. If you want to keep the options open in terms of payment gateways, payment methods and all, then yeah, WooCommerce memberships, WooCommerce subscriptions would be the right route. And also, if you're going to add WooCommerce to the site, like a merch shop for your students, other particular features may be events, maybe webinar bookings and whatnot. So in that case, having a single cohesive e-commerce platform in WooCommerce would be a better idea. But if it's just learning management system and courses through memberships, then and it's going to stay that way, then I would keep it least complicated with just using LearnDash with a membership plugin, either the MemberDash plugin of their own or something like MemberPress.
Yeah, I think we do, but I totally understand. I just think adding a membership plugin to the mixture, that's the strength of Lifter LMS, because they've got a subscription engine inbuilt. And for a basic website, it works perfectly fine. And then they provide an add-on, which you have to purchase depending on what bundle you get with Lifter. But they provide a WooCommerce add-on, and then you got the same WooCommerce if you need more sophistication. That's why I like Lifter, because if you're just looking for ease of setup, you get all that with Lifter LMS, and you just pay for the Stripe add-on, which is about $149, and you're up and running. But it's just, yeah. So when it comes, let's say how does WP Fusion work with WooCommerce then, based on your experience? If you're not only got a membership subscription, but you're selling digital or physical one-off products, and you're going to the WooCommerce, how well does WP Fusion work with WooCommerce?
Oh, first and foremost, one of the most important things, segmenting your contacts, your customers based on what they've purchased. So it's like you're going to associate tags with different purchases, and then based on whatever they've purchased, they're going to get tagged in the CRM. So you just want to take a look at all the customers who have purchased product A, and you want to send them an email blast, or you just want everyone who's purchased product A to be added to a specific mailing list, which is different from mailing list aimed for product B customers. That's where WP Fusion comes in. It lets you do all of that like a charm. Also, based on their purchases, like they purchase a particular number of products, you tag them accordingly, and if they have that tag, you can send them an email with a discount. So providing them discounts based on their activity, based on their purchases, based on even logins. And it also has a great abandoned cart tracking system using an add-on. So using that, you can capture information from customers before they check out, and then based on that, follow up with them to offer them discounts and all. So it lets you do all of that in cohesion with your marketing automation platform. Also, add-ons for things like their login add-on. Did I just discuss it or not? If they haven't logged in for a while, you can send them an email. Like you can segment them based on not logging in for quite a while, and you can segment them in your CRM based on that. And then the segmentation in that CRM, that tag in the CRM could lead to an automation that sends them emails offering them to come back in for a 20% discount or something like that. So yeah, there's a lot you can do. Like sky's the limit. Your creativity is the limit, but these are some of the standard things that you can do when your e-commerce platform can speak freely and communicate all the data in a bi-directional manner with your CRM and marketing automation platform.
Yeah. When it
And by the way, all of this applies to not just WooCommerce. It has easy digital downloads integration as well, right? So
Yes.
it also applies to EDD, not just WooCommerce alone.
Yeah, they're the two main players.
Yeah.
Digital download and WooCommerce, they're both
Yeah.
well-established products.
Yeah. I wonder about Shorecart.
Yeah, you got
Do they have
Shorecart.
an integration with it yet or no?
I think they do. I think they've increased the integration to that. That's another player. When it we discussed
yes,
we discussed it in the first half, connecting to external CRMs, and in the world of CRMs, there's all different types, folks. There's two buckets. There's those CRMs that are really the kind of business logic of the business and around sales, where you've got professional sales teams, and then you've got CRMs that are more around marketing automation, and then you have those that try and do both. And I find that normally they don't do either that well, but we're mostly concentrating on external CRMs that are around marketing automation rather than sales teams or the kind of the central hub of the business. When it comes to these marketing CRMs, based on my experience, there's two leaders. If you're going to work with WordPress and then introduce WP Fusion, and the two is Active Campaign. Obviously they've put their prices up, but it's still one of the best solutions out there. The other one I would say is Omnisend as well. If you're into text messaging, they had a big presence with Shopify. They are a sponsor of the show, folks. I want to point that out, but I still think they've got a very mature platform. So what do you think of that, what I've just said? If you're looking, if you want to use, or you're looking to upgrade, because you get a lot of people that's, the other one is ConvertKit. I think they're the main three. How would you, in your own mind, what are some of the what's the strengths of ConvertKit, Active Campaign, and Omnisend? somebody was coming to advise you and they were looking to get that to work with a WordPress website using WP Fusion, what's your general view of those three? Would you agree? I see them. I suppose you could add Bravo as well, but I don't know much about that one.
So there's a page on the WP Fusion documentation, wpfusion.com/documentation/FAQ/CRM-compatibility-table. So I'm gonna just share the link over here in chat.
Yeah, I'll make sure it's in the show notes.
Wait just a second. I'm adding it to the comments, and okay, the comment has failed to post. Okay, I'll just add it to the private chat. So this shows you the CRM compatibility list and the ratings that they've given to every CRM over there. So what I do is I just look at what the customer's implementation needs. What particular feature do they need? What sort of integrations, like the overall solution they need. Based on that, I'd see the one I'd pick, and not just need right now, also based on their future needs, like where I see them expanding into. Based on that, I'd pick the leanest and cheapest option that offers every single thing that they need. Because customers do have a budget, of course, especially those who are starting off, do have the budget as a constraint. But by cheapest, I don't mean cheapest in terms of quality. It just needs to get all the things that they need done, and it needs to be budget friendly. That's the goal. So I'd look at that FAQ page. They have a list of every single compatible plugin. For example, you may want to use the one that you mentioned last. No, not Brevo, the other one.
ConvertKit?
No, ConvertKit.
Bravo?
Let's go with ConvertKit. So with ConvertKit, you can't really have ConvertKit trigger tagging in WordPress. You can only trigger segmentation in ConvertKit from the WordPress site using WP Fusion. And it's also not compatible with their enhanced e-commerce and event tracking modules. So if you need enhanced e-commerce features, if you need event tracking features, then you're better off with something like ActiveCampaign or Brevo. Brevo integrates with enhanced e-commerce and event tracking. But even with Brevo, you can't do two-way tagging. The tagging segmentation can only go from WordPress side to Brevo, not vice versa. With ActiveCampaign, it flows in both directions. And that's their A+ integration with ActiveCampaign. Drip is also an A+ integration with all features supported. HubSpot is also A+ integration with all features supported. And then many are A, and then there are Bs and Cs, and then there are also a couple of Ds. So yeah, you need to see what that particular site's requirements are. I personally pick something like ActiveCampaign usually because it's like
got
the safest bet. Yeah,
it's got
everything. But then there would be cases where I know that there's not going to be any flow of tagging from the CRM towards WordPress. The only tagging is going to go from WordPress because we're gathering information in WordPress. We need to send it over to the CRM and not segment users in WordPress, but segment users in the CRM. And then I'm not going to use ActiveCampaign. Maybe I'd use Brevo because it's more affordable and supports everything else, just not this particular feature. So yeah, it depends on case to case. But I would stick with the known names usually. I wouldn't pick some very obscure one like maybe something like Marrowpost. I wouldn't pick that. And I wouldn't pick some corporate behemoth like Dynamic 365 either, because that's going to add a whole bunch of headaches to my workflow to no particular benefit, because something like Dynamic 365 is pretty much tailored for the corporate sector.
Yeah.
For the enterprise sector, rather.
What another sector, because we've got about 5-10 minutes and then we've got to wrap it up. But when it comes to more community-focused solutions, like the leader is Buddy Boss, mixed with a learning management system. LearnDash is normally the favourite when it comes to Buddy Boss. What's got any things based on your experience when utilising marketing automation solutions with that mixture of Buddy Boss with LearnDash? Are there some things that people you think need to know?
So if I'm building a site that is going to employ Buddy Boss in it and LearnDash both, if I'm doing so much in-house, I might as well keep the CRM and marketing automation in-house and not have to worry about having a separate dashboard and a separate provider for it. And then I'd use something like Groundhog or Fluent CRM with it. That's me. That's my priority.
They are the two leaders in the native
Yeah.
space. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, that's my priority, because then with that combination, I can handle pretty much every automation within these three natively in WordPress without even adding WP Fusion. Those three tools would get everything I'd need them to do when speaking with each other, utilizing their native integrations. And if there's like more to the picture in that you really want to keep, or maybe if it's a client that's already pretty much decided on using ActiveCampaign, then yes, then WP Fusion would speak with both Buddy Boss and LearnDash and make them speak with your ActiveCampaign system. Pretty much
Yeah,
flawless.
I think based on my experience, if you want this Buddy Boss, LearnDash or Lifter LMS to work and you are using external, it's best that it's ActiveCampaign. That will probably work reasonably well. If you're utilising something else, you'd probably be better off migrating it into Fluent CRM or Groundhog, because it just doesn't have the APIs that some of these SaaS-based, they just don't offer the amount of access that ActiveCampaign does. But even then, if you can, but if you've got a very large marketing setup in ActiveCampaign, migrating all that into a native and getting all the flows sorted out and everything is normally a big job. So you're better off using WP. It's probably going to save you money and see how it goes, because
Agreed.
it's a big job basically, folks.
Yeah. And if it's not broken, then don't bother fixing it. If you already are on ActiveCampaign and it's working great for you, use WP Fusion.
Some of the others, like if you utilise and you go to this chart, which I will make sure is in the show notes, folks, on the WP-Tonic website. If you're dealing with something that's only marked with a D or C, I don't think you're going to be a happy bunny. It's probably not worth the effort. It depends where you are. You're probably going to be better off migrating the setup into a native WordPress CRM, because you're always going to be hitting a wall of what you're going to want to do and what the API of the SaaS offers you. That you're always going to be hearing no instead of yes. So keep that in mind. Not all SaaS-based CRMs not all API systems are equal. That's the strength of ActiveCampaign. And another one that's notorious is Infusionsoft, now called Keep. It's a bit of a nightmare. I don't know if they've improved the situation with Keep, have they, or is it still a bit of a dog, Haroon?
I haven't used it in a bit, yeah.
Yeah, he's being diplomatic. I won't, folks. It's a bit of a dog, so avoid it. I think we've lost most of the audience but I enjoyed this chat.
Same here.
If
I've
people
added
want
something, by the way.
oh, go on, off you go.
So I've added another link that Jonathan
All right.
can add to the show notes. It's wpfusion.com/recommends. So they've got this whole recommendation article, like their picks for what they think in their experience works best in what scenario. So like, for example, in the CRM/marketing automation section over there, they're recommending Brevo for basic requirements as a very capable and budget-friendly choice for businesses who need marketing automation on a budget. And then for mid-range, they're recommending ActiveCampaign as something that gives you everything you need in a marketing automation tool, while still being comparatively budget-friendly, starting at $79 a month for 5,000 contacts. And for mid-range is Omnisend, but then the Cadillac, the best of the best that they're recommending for those with that level of requirements is HubSpot Marketing Hub, but that starts at $800 a month for marketing automation plans. So yeah,
I wouldn't. I want to point out also that I'll find the link and I'll put that in the show notes that the WP Fusion themselves were using ActiveCampaign and they increased the costs quite dramatically. And the owner of WP Fusion about 6 months ago I'm pretty sure about this, he moved to WP Fusion himself and he's using his own marketing with WP Fusion. So I think that's a pretty good sign that the guy that developed WP Fusion, Jack, is actually using. I think he wrote a very detailed post about his experience of moving his own company's marketing automation from ActiveCampaign to Fluent CRM. And I will dig that link in. I think we've had a good feast here. Haroon looks a little bit tired. I'm a bit tired. So Haroon, what's the best way for people to find out more about you and get some advice from you maybe?
They can visit my website, hqraja.com, hqraja.com, and reach out to me using the contact form over there.
Yeah, the links to Haroon website will be all in the show notes as well. So just go over to the WP-Tonic website if you want to talk to Haroon. If you want to talk to us, have your site hosted and all provided with all the tools, plugins and best WordPress technology, have a look at what WP-Tonic has got to offer. It's an amazing value proposition, and we just specialise in membership and community-focused WordPress powered websites. We will be back next week with another marketing or WordPress-focused topic to help you build a successful membership website on WordPress in 2024. We'll see you soon, folks. Bye.